sent to me from the girls when I was in Cyprus, so the bulk of the beginning of this are theirs, and there's a bit in the middle from Mary, who spent many of her last years with my mum. Eileen Mutt. Mum was born and raised in Birkenhead, one of 18 children. It was a tough start to life. She didn't talk about it much. In fact, only in recent years, as the mind started to travel backwards, we learned a little bit more about her early years. For example, as a young teenager, she had TB and was away in hospital for several months. So actually what the girls have found out are things that I didn't know. So, well done. Her childhood days were spent in Brook Street within the parish of Our Ladies, and then moved to Radnor Place in her early teenage years, where she lived until she met my dad, John. Funny enough, as a quick aside, I remember Radnor Place for one reason. I think that's where I got my gambling addiction, because my mum took me to see my grandmother, and we played for old pennies in those days. And I can't get rid of that habit now. Mum was in the army during the Second World War. If you see the picture on the back, you'll see what she looked like. She was always in brown. Mum and Dad lived in Powell Street, Birkenhead, and parish of Holy Cross with family Arnie, Margaret, Tony, Tom and Mary. If Dad was the driving force behind our education, then Mum was definitely the one concerned with our social mobility. She was determined that we would be the best turned out children in the north end of Birkenhead, and as such we would be taken on our twice yearly shopping expedition for our new outfits, which we would then be paraded at church on Sunday mornings and dutifully admired. She was like the cat that got the cream on those occasions. Well, I'm glad I don't remember that. It was this determination to ensure that we are the same as other children which ultimately led her to looking for work to find some extra needed cash. Now I do remember this now. There was only one problem, it was a big one. Dad wasn't to find out, and no matter how small we were, I don't know how far we're going back, I remember that we couldn't tell him what was going on. He was a proud man and strongly believed that it was his place to provide for the family, which he did admirably. So in order for Mum to provide the little extras, she managed to get a few hours each week working at Cadbury's, fitting around the school hours. All went according to plan for a while, and Dad didn't seem to notice that suddenly there was an abundance of broken biscuits, old, gnarled-looking caramels and things, until Mum made a big mistake. I don't know if she did this. That Christmas, 2 brand new bikes for the boys suddenly made an appearance. Dad launched an investigation as she was rumbled. Mum stood her ground, and after the dust settled, they both came to appreciate the little extra money, which actually meant that they could get a bit of social life themselves. She went on to have her first legitimate job. I actually thought I was going to say legitimate child. Legitimate job at Littlewood schools, and really enjoyed her time there. Family still always and definitely came first. Summer holidays in the early years were spent travelling to Tulaka Beach by car. And then in later years having happy times in Butlin's holiday camp at Thelly Heidi High. For the last 42 years, Mum and Dad were members of the St. Joseph's Club in Birkenhead, where they went every Sunday up until January 2014. They've made a lot of close friends there, and each summer went on coach trips all over the country. Mum enjoyed dancing, and the highlight of each Sunday was to line dance with friends and try and dance with every band in the place. Many times, her and Dad entered dance competitions, don't remember that, in the club for a bit of fun. Whenever the bingo was played, Dad took himself off for a game of snooker, which I do remember, next door. Mum and Dad spent 35 years in their ideal home in Portsmouth with their own little garden, until May this year when Dad passed away, and Mum then moved to Nazareth House. Mum didn't take long to settle, and soon Nazareth House was to become a home where she found lots of friendly faces, who she would share her afternoons playing bingo, singing songs, painting and drawing, and most importantly for Mum, looking forward to the parties, where she could still have a good dance. We can't thank everyone here at Nazareth House enough for the love and care they gave, and only wish she could have had finally days back here. I know we struggled to try and get her back to the hospital, but it didn't quite work out. Some memories of Mary in the last couple of years. Memories I should cherish with Mum are our shopping trips in early times. we would meet, iron the marks in Birkenhead, do all the shopping, Christmas shopping, and then get back to Lyme Street. Dad and Joe would be there to meet us. When the travelling became too much for Mum, it was just the two of us. Going up to Liverpool and enjoying a special Christmas lunch to finish the day off. This happened for many years. I also have wonderful memories the last 12 years going to the Lake District, trying out a different guest house each year. Dad would go off with Joe and Sean while Mum and I would wander around the shops, stop for a coffee and then go for a game of bingo. The highlight of the weekend was always to go to Carmel races for a day with a picnic. I don't think they ever won. Anyway, this was such a special day for us. And we'd finished the weekend off with a meal on the way home. The one who won on the horses had to pay. They must have all pooled the money again together for that one. Looking after Mum when Dad died was never a chore or burden for me, as I looked forward to the minute I got to Nazareth House, sitting in a room with our coffee and cake and singing along to the radio. She was not only my mum, my best friend and rock, and even though she did say near the end that she wanted to join Dad, she still wanted to stay with me for 3 more years to get a card from the Queen. She had a smile for everyone, brought happiness to everyone that knew her, the 9 more. So, lovely word, Birdie. Anyway, my lasting memories of Mum were that she was a bit of an opportunist and didn't mince her words, whatever the impact. I remember on one of our trips back from Cyprus, my wife Sue took Mum shopping. When he got to the till, Sue said, "Arlene, don't worry, we'll pay for this." So Mum said, "That's very kind of you, I'll just go and get some more cream cakes." On the next trip back from Cyprus, we walked through the door of Mum and Dad's house, with a lovely greeting from Dad. Mum just sat in the chair, looked Sue up and down and said, "I remember when you used to have a nice figure. Would you like a cup of tea?" Sue still suffers from depression now. Mum, you'll be missed by everyone you touched. Kids, grandkids, family, friends, partners, everyone else. And I go and join Dad and start holding hands.